Hello, how are you this week? I know you probably are looking at me like, is he in the exact same clothes as in episode 10? I am, and that's because even though it's been a week for you, it's about 40. I don't have a watch on, I don't know why I looked at that. It's about 45 minutes for me. I literally stopped to have some soup. I rarely have so much time that I can record two episodes back to back, but I'm doing it on this lovely Sunday afternoon because it's very hot out and I don't want to go outside. It's September, it should be cold and bitter. Right, let's get into the episode. This is her first time Hayden Plays Nioh, episode 11. I don't know what that was about. Always rest at the shrine to start. And let's keep on rolling. This is quite a nice area, isn't it? It's quite scenic. What will this mission be about, I wonder? Lilies. Lilies. I suppose... What are lilies? They're like a symbol of death and innocence? I'm sure there's plenty of monsters. I mean, have you been paying attention? Yeah. I don't really want to go mad into, like... Ooh, I don't know. I don't want to go too mad into, like, art history and that. Like, talking about flower symbolism, but... I think I'll talk about someone... He's not contemporary because he died in, I think late 80s, early 90s. The photographer Robert Mapplethorpe. I don't know if any of you've heard of him. He has quite an eclectic body of work that probably is most not notable, but recognizable for his work with not work that depicted S&M kind of relationships and kind of settings. Should we... Boom. He also lived... Well, I don't know if he's famous for this, but he would have lived in the Chelsea Hotel with the singer Patti Smith. The Chelsea Hotel, I'm pretty sure, is the hotel that John Lennon was staying in and was shot outside by Mark Chapman, where he died. Shot like 5 times. Mark Chapman, he was obsessed with Catcher in the Rye. He kind of saw himself as like Holden Caulfield, and he thought that by murdering John Lennon that he would like write the final chapter by murdering the ultimate phony, because Holden Caulfield was obsessed with phonies and Catcher in the Rye. I think it was something like that. Those were some of his claims when they caught him. It's a long time since I looked into Lennon or the Beatles. What was I talking about? Mapplethorpe. So yeah, he would have lived with Patti Smith. And along with his body of SMM work, he also had quite a lot of pictures of flowers, but in particular lilies. And what is noticeable about the lilies is, like I said a few minutes ago, is that they symbolize kind of innocence and death. So when you contrast that with S&M stuff, it really brings up some kind of deep connotations. I suppose the connotations that it brings up is like, even though the lilies symbolize innocence, and that's what he was interested in, more so than death. Like the way that he would have shot the flowers, I think it was predominantly in black and white that he worked, but the way that the curves and the contours of the flowers and the petals, particularly as they wilted, were quite reminiscent of the curves of the human form. So it almost sexualized the flowers, but that's probably a bit strong of a way of looking at it, but it definitely mirrored what you would have saw in his more erotic work. along with that, the no, get back to that once I kill this mofo. Come on, I want you to do it. Let's dance. Put on your shoes and we'll just dance the blues. Let's swing. I am running rings around him, literally. Okay, so the lily that he would have used... Sorry about that. The lily that he would have used in particular was called a calla lily, which it's like a weird cousin of the traditional lily that you would see in funerals and stuff. Should I risk falling down here? Let's do it. But, oh, little Yumi, I wasn't expecting one of those. The kind of interesting thing about them is that you might see them a lot at kind of Christmas time. They're used as decorations and stuff. But when you cut them at the stem, and if you planted them back into the ground at that... Why did I bring that Revenant in? I wasn't really thinking what I was doing there. Sorry about that. So when you cut them at the stem, and if you planted them back into the earth again, they would regrow their roots and they'd come back to life. So they kind of... Just like William here. Whew, finally. We might actually get to move on from that. So yeah, as I was saying, with Mapplethorpe, it was that the calla lily was associated with rebirth. That's what tied it to kind of more of his erotic work as well, because of obviously what the act of doing all that stuff does is making babies. So there was that kind of literal connection for him. Interesting guy. The reason that I think I first ever kind of became interested in lilies was from Nirvana's Unplugged live in New York. Alright, that just brought me right back up here. Oh! Am I on fire now again? Yep, great. That just looks like I'll slide. Oh no, this is up where I was going. We're going right, we're going right. Let's wait out the flames. It's getting hot in here, so hot, so don't take off any of your clothes, because that will reduce your defense quite substantially. Yeah, so in Unplugged, or at least a live recording of it, the whole stage was decorated with lilies, almost like it was a funeral, which a lot of people point out is a bit, oh, I don't know what word to use, odd, maybe, considering that 5 months later Kurt Cobain was dead. Is that one of those spas already? Okay, strange. I'm finding secrets and I thought I was going in the right direction. Or maybe it's not a secret. In the very first one of these I found was on the right route as well, wasn't it? Maybe just indicates that there's going to be something difficult up here. I mean, as well with that, I'm not sure if this is accurate. It's a long time again. I think I've said this before since I've read any of the books on Cobain. But didn't he like... Oh. This is different. I hadn't actually come this way. I thought this is... You probably saw a compilation of how I died a lot there. I thought this was going to bring me around to where I was. Oh. I hate these things. I'm gonna run out of key. Oh! Nasty. Come back to me. Haha, gotcha. Oh, normally they drop some decent stuff. What's that in there? Oh, don't tell me. It's probably like really good material and it's gone in behind the chest. Fantastic. So yeah, what was I saying before all of that debt took over? I was talking about a man's potential suicide attempt. But this is where I would have died initially. So yeah, apparently he tried to overdose in Rome a few weeks, I think, before the whole Unplugged showing. But look, let's steer away from the debt, because that is all just a bit too much and a bit too dark, I think. Let's talk about something slightly more pleasant. So it could also, like, if you think about lilies, rather than just being associated with death, they're also associated with innocence. So it could have had something to do with... Can I walk along here? Yes, I can. Ooh. It could have had something to do with, like, the fact that it was an acoustic show, and Nirvana were particularly kind of like associated with electrical equipment, like with, let's go back, like with Innocence, like kind of the simple, not simpler because it's still a bloody instrument and I can hardly play the guitar, but like if you think about like when Dylan first went electric, like the uproar about that, I think it was in like a concert in 1965 in Newport. Came out on stage and he was playing the electrical guitar and people started booing and jeering and they were quite unhappy about it, and like it was like a big moment in music because here he was, one of the greatest kind of folk singers and writers, just one of the greatest lyricists. A lot of people don't like Dylan, but I think he deserves the praise that he gets. But yeah, so it's like a return to that, like acknowledging like, oh, Dylan, Dylan stepped forward, like us going back to what he started with is kind of like a big thing, and that's what the Lilies are, like returning to that post or pre-electric stage of music. It could have been a statement about that rather than something to do with debt. Not everything has to relate to debt. Did that make sense, or did I just talk absolute waffle? Who knows? Either is likely, isn't it? Kudama! Oh, we haven't been down this way. Oh, there's a building. We're just gonna do living weapon. Oh! I was expecting something bigger. Well, they turn into the giant cyclopses, don't they? So it's best to kill them quick anyway. We'll get some Amarita here. They are actually children. Oh, that's a bit sad. I would have put money on it now that was going to be a boss. Okay, this is a bit different. Oh, don't be jumping around me like that. Accept your fate. Thank you. A thing with that, Dylan, though. So, like, obviously I know the narrative is that, like, when the crowd was jeering and booing... that, yeah, the narrative is kind of like that they were angry that he'd gone electric, but apparently the sound quality at the show was what really did it. Like, that it was just awful, like you could barely hear anything, and he did a really short set, and that's what the fans were really annoyed about. Like, I'm sure they weren't happy. There was probably some purists in the audience that didn't like the fact that he was playing an electric guitar, but the average Joe So, it was mainly like, oh, we came here to see Bob Dylan. He's doing, I don't want to put a time on it, but not an adequate length set, I'm sure. Let's swing the pickaxe at me. Taste my blade. Thought that would have been a trap there. Is that a Buddha? Looks very ominous. Okay, let's get... Oh, I don't have... Oh, this looks like that it's optional to fight it. Sure. Still going to... What sort of samurai warrior would I be if I didn't take on a challenge every now and again and risk being put back to the started level because we haven't found a shrine in bloody ages? Ugh. Good. Good, 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 good. It opens up. And the door seems to be locked. That just made it really worthwhile, didn't it? So, I actually went to see Dylan, oh god, it must be 10 years ago now. It would have been when I was doing my leaving cert. For any international viewers, that's like your final set of high school exams. It's called your leaving certificate. It's the last, state set standardized test that you do in school, or you get like your points from it to go to uni, or as we say, college. I think the American people say that as well. It's mainly in the UK that they refer to it as uni, because college is something separate. Oh, something's seen me. I should be on alert. Up there. Oh. Am I going backwards? No. Oh ho ho! Oh, Shantae! Yes! Not enough to level up, but at least we know we're making progress. See, I would have seen Dylan, I think it was like literally just like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I was sitting my exams. You need our help. And my mum was raging about it because she was like, you've done it. Oh no, not one of these. Oh no, oh no. Oh, it's a weaker version and I'm used to fighting. That's okay. I've done a lot of these in this. Yeah, you see, I've done a lot of them in submissions. They are absolute brutes. Oh no. Now they're showing up in the main missions. So yeah, I went to see it with my best friend at the time and his dad. They were both massive Dylan fans. Well, his dad in particular. Me and my friend as well. We also had we both had the same guitar teacher at the time as well, and he would have taught us a lot of Dylan, a lot of our early songs. You know, it's like sorry now. Oh no! Like he would have taught us really basic songs like Blown in the Wind. Just really simple chord progressions like that. That's, I suppose, the great thing about Dylan. They weren't mental songs to try and learn for amateurs, and they were beautiful. Right, let's slow him down now. And I should weaken him as well. Ah. What the hell? What the hell? I mean, I basically did it on easy mode with the cheapest attack I had, but at least he's dead now and we can move on. That was fairly grueling. Should I go in there? It seems like it would be a boss in there. Oh, little Kodama. Who's lucky I didn't go in there. It was a very odd concert and it was a really odd day. So, like, they would have driven up to Dublin. I would have went with them. We'd turn around because I forgot my ticket, which annoyed everybody. Oh, this is creepy. Oh, they're just wind chimes. Wind chimes are still pretty creepy. Guess didn't have to take him on. Now we're just going to get some pretty not spectacular gear. I didn't even look at what that was. I picked it up too quick. Great. There was basically no reason to do that. Oh, the Kodama. I suppose I need to collect Kodamas. Ah, there's the steps that were meant to go up. Give me all your Amrita. So we got up to Dublin. It was the only concert I've ever sat at as well, which wasn't great. We were at an awkward angle and far away from the stage. Dylan himself, I didn't think was, but he didn't put on a spectacular performance by any means. He actually, did he play with? He never once like acknowledged the audience. He never spoke. I don't think. Did he play with his back to the crowd? Oh, I can't quite remember. He might have done one or two songs like that. This would have been 2009 as well, so he wouldn't have been that old. Like, he would have been an aged man. He was far from the legendary creative young fella. He hadn't really put out a masterpiece in a while, so he don't know if he's Bob Dylan. He's the right to be arrogant. And that still doesn't mean you have to. I suppose he's just an awful person. What was that? The Color Purple, wasn't that the film about him? It's like there was a load of different actors playing different characters, but each character was just another kind of like version of Dylan or aspect of his personality. It was really cool, and it kind of showed the complexity. Yeah, I'm pooping all over Bob Dylan, and there's really no reason to. He's a great artist. Got a temple key, but I don't ever remember seeing. Oh, that's the door where. Yep. I remember where we're going now. I remember. Do you remember? I think that same friend, we went to quite a few concerts together. We went to see Neil Young, which was amazing. We were around the same age then, I think. Well, obviously we were the same age. There was like a month in the difference between us, but I mean, it was close enough in the times when we went to see Dylan. Neil Young was great. Remember, I won't say that, but like, we really enjoyed the show. And just remember at the end him like he just shredded the strings on his guitar and stuff. And it was like, I think it was Fade to Black he did it during. I thought the door was up here. Yes. Oh my god, nope. What the heck? Was there another door on the outside maybe as well? The keys don't normally open two doors though. Here we go. Bum bum bum. It looks like we have a boss coming up, but oh. There's a demon to get through first. A Yoki, sorry. Who else did we go to see together? We saw Guns N' Roses when they did that infamous show in Dublin. We both went with our respective girlfriends at the time. They were best friends, we were best friends. There was no drama at all, as you can imagine. I remember I got quite drunk, and so they came out like hours and hours and hours, not hours and hours and hours. I think they were like an hour and a half late on stage. It was that tour that Axl Rose had just basically not shown up once on time for any of the shows, and there was just a lot of jeering. The crowd were quite antagonistic because of that, and eventually because of stuff being thrown on stage. Once I shouldn't say that. That's, yeah, again, there's a lot of this I can't say, a lot of these stories. But after having stuff thrown at him, bottles and that, he walked off stage. She's crying blood, that's all. Oh, and they're growing from her blood. Ugh. It's lust. Those fingernails. Oh, you're definitely not lost. That's a really cool character design, though. Like this might be... Yeah, this is pretty. It reminds me of bosses at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Wow. What was I saying? Yeah, Rose walked off stage. Talking about Guns N' Roses and trying to... There's going to be much more of that, I can imagine. Attempt 2. Stay close on her, because it looks like she wants to use ranged attacks. Yeah, look at that, and dodge. Oh, no. No. Just for the sake of it, just to see what sort of damage it does. Not much. She has quite a big health pool, doesn't she? Right, let's get out and slow her. Ah! Whew. No, maybe I should stay far away. She didn't do anything when I was out. Oh. My mistake. Oh, maybe she's kind of like the Unroki, where I should, like, just, instead of trying to dodge, I should block. Not let her do that, though. Stay behind. Yeah, that seems to be working much better. Oh, she is quite like him. And I've mastered him, so she should be quite easy. Yeah. You're hopping around more than the frog did, honey. Oh, this is awful. Alright, gotta get out of there because I couldn't even see what was going on. Alright. Attack down. Look at all that health she has. I can imagine if I didn't have the attack down there that I would have been dead. Those are some wild slashes. Right, let's slow her again. Attack down again. Oh. That leaves her open a good bit. Alright, we're under half health now. She should be going into a second stage. Let's give myself some fire. Nah, she is resistant to fire. Don't know how none of that hit me. Oh no, dodged the wrong direction there. Keep your cool, keep your cool. Ah! No, she has no lowered. Ah! Okay, I've changed up my equipment a bit to see if that will help. No, it doesn't do much. I think the sword is actually weaker than what I was doing before. Water isn't a better element. Oh!
かな母を許しておくれ。
End this! End this! Oh. Hello.
Hello?
どうしてかしら。侍は皆死にたがる。忠義のため、お家のためなんて。あなたは恋人を追ってこの国に来たって聞いたわ。侍どもとは違うよね。あいつは徳川の家を守るため、愛した妻を殺し、保身のため息子をも切り捨てる。血も涙もない男。あいつは兄さんを殺した。私も家康の娘。大名に嫁がされそうになったけど、あいつの駒に使われるのはまっぴらごめん。家を捨て、私は忍びになった。あいつに会うんでしょ。私は先に江戸に向かうわ。あの狸には会いたくないの。
It is over. Dear God, it is finally over. That is mission 11. Probably the hardest boss I've faced in this game yet. Like, subscribe, share, you guys. Thank you. I will see you next week for episode 12. Enjoy your week. Hopefully it's a good one. I'm sure this is probably in October now, are we? God. Have a good Halloween. If it's that time. Okay. Bye. See you.